Yay for our intern. Wow.
It's awesome.
Time. Clear. Still a little out of breath. 9 minutes, not bad. The trail's reopened.
Is that a new record, Liam? 9 minutes?
The new record, yeah, we were 12 last week.
How many people do you have total?
Operating this at any given time? It will be 2 people.
To do the changeover, everything you just did?
Well, for entertainment side of things, our park service has helped quite a bit. They have 4 tractor drivers, as well as a couple of other supervisors around. So there's about 6 or 7 for that changeover, and there's 2 actual entertainment people that will operate. And myself, Dan here's training tonight. Another guy's name is Jake. He's actually checking lights now. The next step that we normally would do at this point in time, walk the whole trail from one end to the other, looking for burnt out strands, making notes of what needs to be changed. We will do anything in the evening that's low to the ground, and on Tuesday nights, after the park closes, what do you say?
No, I just refreshments at all.
One to 6, do me a favor, check to see if those breakers we got shut off. We're having a little bit of a problem with the lights and Gristmill refreshments right now. Some of the locations we do borrow power from an existing facility as opposed to new service. That's one of them, and sometimes when they shut down for the night, they might accidentally shut off the wrong breaker. That's always a possibility. So we'll go down and troubleshoot that in just a minute. But as I was saying, anything that's low to the ground that we can do tonight, we will be changing strands out as the evening goes on. And then on Tuesday nights, once the park is closed, we'll bring out a 45-foot man lift. And that crew will work for about 3 to 4 hours changing anything that's high over the week that needs to be changed. So we do keep a really heavy maintenance schedule. We log and report everything that needs to be changed. And we just keep a close eye on it. That's negative. I'll be down there in just a minute. As I was saying, sorry, lost train of thought. A lot of breath still. Basically, we'll be walking the trail all night long, even up until the last guests are walking through, still taking notes. So we keep a constant eye on things. The first sign of trouble, we might have to run back to the control center and take a look at things there as well. Let's run just for a second, and I'll be with you in just a minute. Down there. When you first walk in, we'll not see if it's a break. You got me. A little bit about the control system. To understand how everything is controlled here, you need to understand theatrical lighting a little bit. We use a theatrical lighting console upstairs, as well as a program called SFX, which is a show control program. Spits time code, very similar to like a soundtrack would be attached to a movie. We stripe the time to the music itself, and then the lights know to take their cues based off of that. That's how we synchronize everything to the music. It's the same way we operate all of our shows in the park as well, so it's not really a new concept to us. What is new, having to distribute, control, dimming, lighting, all of that to such a wide area. Now during Halloween weekends, with all of the foggers, we do the same sort of thing, but all of that's temporary, so we just lay it on the ground, all the way behind fences everywhere, and we just pull that cable up to the end of the season. Since this is a permanent installation, subject to city inspections and all of that sort of thing, everything's got to be permanent, it's got to be planned well in advance, laid, buried underground. So we actually brought in a company from Las Vegas to help us out with all of that. They do rock concerts, they do Broadway shows, they do all of that sort of stuff. And basically with that, we brought them out and they helped us with the control system. We have some Cat 5, everything's running over Ethernet and then transfers to a computer language we call DMX, which actually does tell the dimmers and everything what to do. But for example, everything running this way is run just Cat 5 buried underground. We get further along here, you can't run DMX over Cat 5 very far. So what we end up doing is we actually go wireless to data hubs. We have wireless bridges. Some of you may have noticed antennas on some of these buildings. Perfect example, right over here. On the side of the cabin right here, we have one of our wireless antennas. That's shooting up to Fort Sandusky to another data hub. From Fort Stand Up, it shoots down to the candle shop, or the candy shop. From the candy shop, shoots over to the pet farm barn. From there, it goes underground to a control center just behind the lockers. Shoots wirelessly again all the way over to the grist mill. From the grist mill to the glass blower shop. From the glass blower shop to the batch house, which is that small little shed next to the Thunder Candy Dry Goods. All of those places I have data hubs, which then translate that information back into DMX, sends it out to different control centers, where then that's controlling, or that's where it tells the electricity to turn on or off. I'll open up one of these panels here. This is one of our smaller size dimmers. These are what we call our smart packs. Basically inside here, this guy, which is what we're actually troubleshooting right now down at the glass floors, controls this series of outlets. There's actually 12 channels in here, and the DMX language is telling, say, channel 1 or 2 to come up at a certain time, then that fades out channel 3, 4, and 5, however the programmer decides to program it. All of that's based in here. These little yellow boxes are GFIs, ground fault interrupters. That's really for wet conditions, safety. You have those in your bathroom, have those in your kitchen at home. That's those things that keep you from being electrocuted or shocked in wet conditions. And there's a special type, because GFIs are not really made to go on dimmers. Well, this type actually works with the dimmers, so that we don't get what's called nuisance tripping, or tripping every time we try and change stuff. So this is one of our small locations here. We have a larger dimmer rack, which is located right back here, and I'll take you back there. To give you an idea, that entire smart pack right there controls just this cluster of trees right into here. And then this bigger dimmer rack is here, the buildings, and a little bit further on down here. Now you may ask yourselves, why such a big enclosure for such a small piece of equipment? Well, the reason that's the case is because we have to consider ventilation on those hot summer nights. Dimmers actually produce heat as a byproduct of transferring the electricity to a lower output level. These are the dimmers here, and these are almost exactly the same types that you'll find that actually operate our theatrical shows. They're the same kind of system. Some of them are bigger. Say it's a Good Time Theater or ice skating show. I have 5 banks of these. There's actually 96 dimmers per 5 banks. This consists of 24 dimmers. Each cartridge is actually just 2, like that. And of course we have our own individual circuit breakers on them as well. Slide back into the card, turn on. You know right now they're on because we have a little signal light. And that's basically how these guys are operating. Once again, we have to get from our control center to all of these locations along the trail, behind buildings, sometimes out visible, to control what we need to control. This is all planned, obviously, on paper by some of the best guys in the industry. And as always, with every installation, you run into your glitches, as we did here. We had to make some changes and plans on the fly, and of course running with delays because this was a relatively late project. Normally a project like this would actually go into planning about 1.5 to 2 years into advance. So we put a rush on all of the parts here to get up and going. And as a result, if you go down towards the glass floors, you'll see a few trees that are located there that are turned on before any of the other trees are. We're still waiting on some parts to finish out that end of the trail of that project at that location. Once that actually happens, we'll be up to 100% as far as the hard equipment goes. A little bit of the other technology that we use here, and this gets into some of the pretty cool high-end stuff.